set up here.
I do it more.
I'm gonna have you get like close in and all that whenever I start actually cleaning them up here. I'm gonna go ahead and just break their jaws here, and
I get another pair of pliers and make that easier.
this will be all right. I just need to rip that till the stringer comes out there. But I'll take the first one here. And here we go. If you can hold a little bit of light on that side. Let's see, pliers. What you want to do is get behind this fin, and then there's another little, right here, there's a little barb under the skin. You can kind of see it right there. If you get close, you can see that barb under the skin behind the gill. And it's above the fin here. That barb you want to get back behind and cut down into behind that and up to the top of the fish, up to the point up here where the spine is, and then do the same on the other side. Get behind that barb, behind the gill, behind that fin, cut down to the belly and cut up to the top of the fish up here on the spine. Then you want to take your fillet knife, hopefully it's real sharp, and get back here. There's a little another little barb that comes off of this top fin. Underneath here there's like a little plate around that fin. You want to take and cut down the top of this fish, just cutting the skin, and get underneath that little barb there. And if my knife was a lot sharper, it'd be a lot better. But just right to the back and side of this fin here, you want to get through that skin on both sides. Boy, this knife ain't worth a shit. Let's hit stone real quick.
That one fish is looking at me. That one over there is looking at me.
Let's see how that does if that's a lot sharper. Oh yeah, that's much sharper. Get on top here, through that skin, around that barb right there, to the back edge of this fin. Then, once you get all the way around that fin, on both sides, you come over here, flip it over, and you can see the ribs here, how they run along the inside of there to the, and this belly underneath here, there's no ribs. You want to come and take your knife and put it up close to the spine, but underneath those ribs to where you're down here below the ribs on both sides. Okay, all the way through on both sides, and you follow those ribs,
You gotta skin it
all the way up past the anus, and before you get to this, before you get to this fin here, but past the anus, cut all the way through. Then where we made these two little parts here, you want to grab with your pliers the skin only and pull the skin back on one side, then grab the other skin on the other side and pull it back. Then once you get it back to this point, you grab all the skin on the top in the middle with your pliers and pull it all the way down past the tail, and that goes straight in the trash. Then you've got all this meat exposed. You want to take and cut down along the top side again behind the head and that fin there, and follow the spine back a little ways past that fin, about right there. And then you want to kind of keep your knife as close as you can on top of those ribs without cutting yourself, and cut down into this fish along that spine and follow those ribs to where you're separating the meat from those ribs, And once you get down past a certain point, about right there, you can follow the spine all the way down to the end of the tail, like there. And you got a nice fillet right there off all that, and you should be up against that spine and miss those ribs. And you should, if you get a bigger fish, you want to cut down past those ribs so you don't miss a lot of meat right there. Throw that in there, and on the other side, kind of do the same thing. Follow the top back down the spine without cutting your fingers off. You might need those later, unless you're like me and they'll grow back. Everything grows back. All those ribs down, and the spine all the way down to the end of the tail, and right like that. Got another fillet, and hopefully missed a little bit of meat right there, but that's why you want to cut down alongside those ribs if you've got a bigger fish, so you don't miss all this extra meat here. And this goes in the trash. And you move on to the next one. And if you got them on a stringer, you can use snippers. I usually just grab them with a plier, break that lip, and pull the stringer through the lip. And the reason you don't want to go through the gills is because with the stringer is because they'll drown in the water. You want to stick it underneath their tongue and poke that stringer through their bottom lip down here, past the actual bone in the lip, and they'll stay alive as long as they're in the water, unless you hooked them in the gills already before throwing them on there. But same thing again, behind that barb, up to the top of the head.
That's the key thing, don't get in a hurry.
Yeah, don't get in a hurry or you might lose appendages, or take someone else's if they're trying to help. My cameraman, he's got plenty to spare, because they're not mine.
You know, very sure these bugs ain't fucking alive.
Like you're not ate up enough already, Bob.
Yeah, I got wings.
Again, cut that skin down, back past that fin on top, and on the other side, same thing. A good sharp knife is really the key to this,
Yeah.
so that you can just slice through that skin without having to put too much pressure on it and risk cutting your fingers and ruining the fish. Like I said, you want to get past these bones here for the ribs on both sides, cut down past that anus and before that fin. Then you take pliers and pull your skin back. That almost sounds like a Jewish joke. What? Don't touch my foreskin.
There you go.
Oops.
I just sure don't have something to drink.
Yeah, if you could grab my drink, Bob. Appreciate it. It's up there in the room, the big 44-ounce one. Now, if your fish have been drying out and not on ice or in the water, then the skin will be a lot tougher to remove whenever you're trying to skin it. Or if you got a really big one, it's hard to remove also. Sometimes you gotta nail them to a tree to get that skin to come off. Some people like to cut their heads off to skin them. That's too much effort. If you get a real big one, there's extra meat here in this belly, and say on a 10, 15, 25 pound fish, you'll get another, good 3/4 to a pound of meat out of just this belly meat right here. There's a bone in this that is kind of diamond shape where these fins go, and what you'll do is you'll pull this skin from here, like you'll cut this off and then pull that skin back, and then you'll cut the belly lining out of the fish real carefully. You'll have to kind of peel it back and use your fillet knife to slice in there. It's a lot of trouble. So with these smaller ones, you really don't want to mess with it unless, like I said, it's a really big one and there's a lot of meat there. Otherwise, I don't even mess with it 90% of the time. Go ahead and see how much meat there is back behind this head here. The bigger the fish, the more meat you'll get from behind this head too. And that's really tender meat. It's more of a yellowish color up along the top, near the top of the spine. In this groove right here is what they call the mud vein, which if I can get a big enough one here, these little ones it's hard to see, but down in this there's a white vein where the catfish lay in trenches and up around rocks in the rivers, and that's where they'll kind of sit there and with their whiskers they'll kind of feel out and taste like kind of like a ant or a bee would do with their antenna. They can taste with these, and this links directly to that vein in both sides of the fish, and what they're taking in and tasting is little particles that get trapped up in this vein. And the bigger the fish, the bigger the mud vein, and the more you'll taste the water where they come from, like the dirt in the rivers, if it's a really dirty river, like the Missouri for instance. So the bigger the fish, the more you want to get that vein out. It really does make a huge difference as far as the taste of the fish. Try not to cut my finger off here. Put yours up there for me. Oh, come on, man. You can trust me. You can trust me, man. I got you. Got what you need, bro. Alright, get past these ribs. And don't use my... Dang. There we go. Man, I'm missing a lot of meat on them ribs. So you gotta get down in there without cutting your finger off. It's really, really tricky sometimes. See how much meat. There we go. And if you're pushing too much down on it, you will cut through the spine. There's that piece of right there. See how much meat I missed there on them ribs? Let's see if I can kind of cut down into that. Take a look at how much meat we actually missed just from this one side without cutting my fingers off. I mean, there's a, you know, nice little chunk of meat there that I could have got if I'd have taken my time and done it right. But if you get a lot of fish like this, you get in a hurry sometimes. You will miss fish, and if you're not, you know, got another person there to help you clean those fish, you get in a hurry, you start making mistakes, and you can start butchering some fish. And I've butchered some so bad that I just get fed up and throw the whole fish away because I don't want to deal with it at that point. See, some of these catfish have ribs that are a lot lower depending on the species. Some of them you can go right across the top of the ribs, and you can get up above me here and look down in here. Can you see here? Go along this spine here and kind of cut down into the meat, and just keep cutting down into it, but stay on the outside of that spine. And then once you start feeling them ribs, you just cut down the top of the ribs like that, And you can take all that meat off of there. See where I'm up against the ribs right there? Take that all the way down. Just kind of keep with a real sharp knife. It's a lot easier, but stay up along that. And once you get down past that point, then you can take and get the rest of your fillet and just bend the knife right against the bone and pull it back through. And you'll just balance it on that bone there to get to the tail. Cut through it. And you got, you missed a piece there, but it's once you get past those ribs right there. See that chunk of meat? A good chunk. The bigger ones are easier. Hope this is the very last one. This is not for the faint of heart or the squirmish, though. So if you got a problem with breaking bones and ripping stuff apart, better get the fuck over it. I want to eat. Sorry, just channeling my inner Joe Biden. Fucking cool, ain't I? This is the one I caught on a bare hook. Didn't have no bait. Just threw it out there on a bare hook because the feeder just went off.
Nice fish there.
It's the first one I caught, Bob. When I didn't have no bait on it, and I just threw it out there. When that feeder went off, when it first got there.
Yeah, I bet there was 100 fish out right out
Oh
there.
fuck, Bob! I bet there was close to 300. The way that water was boiling, holy shit! I'd say you should have been there, but I didn't fucking want you there. Not because of you or anything, just you know.
Get spoiled fishing in a lake like that.
Oh fuck yeah! And well, you gotta earn it, boy. You gotta learn how to catch these motherfuckers, and then we'll take it to the easy place. Once you earn your stripes, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And you better.
Good clean, healthy looking fish too. You got a belly on him.
Hey man, don't be talking about my cousin like that. Why don't you just go over there and grab me that matter, Daddy? Think you'd do that for me?
What's that?
Grab me that matter, Daddy?
That matter, Daddy?
Yeah. What about you? You can grab me that matter, Daddy?
What's the matter, Daddy?
Nothing, son. What's wrong with you? Yeah, see, look how thick that meat is on that belly. Much bigger fish. And you take it all the way back to right there. So you get another good 2 inches squared of meat, but I think we got enough in this. I might grab that meat off there later if I'm.
Good hunk of meat.
Fuck yeah, it is. I mean, it's quarter inch, half inch thick.
Half inch thick, easy.
Come on, Bob. Don't be saying easy around me. You know how long it's been.
Right, I do, yeah.
Alright.
They're not easy to skin. You really got to hold on to it.
Yep.
Got skin on it.
You gotta keep your hands down behind them bones that you cut behind so that you don't slip and.
The fin on the top will get you.
Oh yeah, these barbs on these fins are fucking mean. I've ripped my hands open so many times on these fuckers. Letting them go even.
That's when they get me to turn them loose.
Yeah.
This motherfucker.
See, I'll show you right here. See that fins?
Those are bad.
That's
boys.
bone, and you get up close to it, real close. And off the end of that fin, you can see there's a little spot right there. Now, down in this fin here, flip that over. Can you see those? That little jagged edge right there. Watch. Listen. Hear that?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's little teeth like like the teeth of this here
The pliers.
pliers, and they're sharp. And the one on top here, that one's even worse sometimes. If say you got a big one and he's got it separated from the rest of the fin, then he's been using that thing rolling. Whenever he gets hooked, he'll roll and he'll get it over in the top of that and just cut your line. Huh. Yeah, that's a lot of meat on this fish.
They eat good.
Oh hell yeah, 5 and 5. And I'm gonna start getting in a hurry and wasting fish here because it's getting daylight and god damn it, there's more fish to be had. And then once I get done with this and get that video all squared away, you guys can handle the rest of my fucking work, and I'm gonna go catch more fish for you. Because I'm the master. I know how to bait my hooks. I guess you can call me the master baiter.
You gotta be a master baiter for an expert fisherman. For a master fisherman, you gotta be a master baiter. That's how it goes.
Dang. Just get down in there and start hacking away at it.
Last thing you want to do
that is a big old thick fillet right there.
Just bite into one of them fucking fish bones. I mean, it's like biting into
I don't care if you do.
It's like biting into a damn needle.
Ain't really that much meat on them ribs, but yeah, a little piece of meat
right here.
Who's a what? Biden's a white queer.
There we go. We got them in the White House.
Super mega flies. Getting cut down on top of them ribs. You can hear them clicking in there. Down past this fin on the inside of that spine. Oh, the sharper the knife, the fucking better, though. And this knife is fucking duller than shit.
Yeah, we need to find one of those old school can openers. They get the knife sharpener on the back. They all used to come with a knife sharpener on the back.
What was their name?
I don't know, but she was sharp.
That's what I hear.
Just push the handle down like you open the can and just drag the knife through it.
You're making that shit up, Bob. I don't think you're fucking old enough to remember that.
I even got the made up part yet.
Alright. Get down them fucking ribs the best I can. See there? I got a little too deep. No, actually, I guess I didn't. This fucking fish is thick, boy.
Yeah.
He's full of fucking muscle. Look at that. That's thick fucking muscle. Yeah, and that's about what you're left with. You can go ahead and stop that video.